So sustaining sexual violence advocates in the work is probably a great note for me to end on, and probably for our videos and our online learning module to end on, and that is, how do you take care of yourself? What does it look like to be good to you? And so there are all these elaborate things that we're teaching and training on what self-care looks like. The first decade of my career, we talked about vicarious trauma. Now we're using self-care. I talked earlier about this language and vernacular that we create to take care of ourselves, and ultimately taking care of yourself is individually what you need for yourself. And so that means, what is it like for you to be living in a field of butterflies where the grass is green and the sun is shining bright? So for some of us, that's escaping in a book. For some of us, that's watching mindless TV. For others of us, it is having a ritual in our lives that help us sleep, a ritual in our lives that help us be our best selves. But ultimately, self-care looks like, what does unapologetically the boldest person that you can show up as, what do you need to ensure that person comes shining through? What do you need for each individual who's interacting with you to see that part of you? And so, yes, there are things we can do, like have massages. There are things we can do like yoga, the things that we're putting in our offices, healthy food, ensuring that people can take care of themselves, ensuring that once you're tired, I can tap you and say, you can tag out. You look like you need a moment. And there's no judgment attached to that, but you just need the space to take care of yourself, and I can tag in. And that's what taking care of ourselves look like, is holding space for ourselves, whatever that looks like, but holding space for your comrades and your co-conspirators in this work. That's what self-care looks like. It has to be self-defined, it has to be realistic, and it has to be yours. And I can name all the ways, as I just did, that you can begin that journey for yourself, but ultimately, we all know deep down within us what we need to restore. What does restoration look like? And we know sleep is one of the ways that we can restore. And most of us who do this work unrelentlessly don't sleep well. So all the things that happen when we tell survivors. So when survivors aren't well, their eating isn't good, their sleep isn't well, their health isn't well, the same thing is true for advocates. So in order to sustain us on what I consider a new journey in the ways we're working towards the horizon where the sun is shining and people are free, healthy, happy, and have everything that they need, access to all goodness that this world has to offer, that is the place that you want to tap into internally for yourself, and intrinsically start to motivate yourself and ask your colleagues to tap you in accountability when you're not finding yourself being your best you.